Hello everyone, what is going on? My name is Sakura Stardust and I hope you are all having the loveliest of lovely days wherever you are. And yes, I ripped that intro off of Isabelle's thing in Animal Crossing. Also, I'm kind of contemplating whether I want to call myself Sakura Stardust or call the channel Sakura Stardust or just refer to myself as Alex because that's my name. I don't know. I'm thinking of things to do with my channel. Just don't at me. I'm gonna figure it out. I don't know. But yeah, getting back on topic, a while back, like 2 years or maybe even 3 at least, I used to do these Nintendo news update videos where I kind of talked about topical hot things in Nintendo news at the time. It was kind of half-assed in my opinion, kind of FOMO with that deal where I kind of did quick videos being like, oh, here's this cool thing, and just kind of acted kind of like, wow, cool thing, watch my video. And I don't know, I kind of shifted from that for a while, took a hiatus, can I use words? I don't know. But yeah, I took a hiatus and I kind of came back to it. I've been doing more bulky video essays and I kind of miss the Nintendo news updates. I kind of miss talking about Nintendo stuff and getting hyped about it and talking about it with my viewers and all you people listening, my viewers. So yeah, I'm gonna bring it back just as this kind of supplemental little filler thing between my big videos because I really do want to shift more towards those essay things. But this is kind of fun, and when there's something I'm really excited to talk about, then I can talk about it. And yes, I know this is really similar to Arlo's Nintendo news updates. I do not want to copy his format at all. I just want to talk about Nintendo. I like Nintendo. I want to get excited about Nintendo. That's really it. And, I mean, this is something I've been doing for a while, I just kind of want to bring it back from the dead. But yeah, we're gonna go straight into the thing I'm most excited about, and I don't know why I'm excited about this, I don't know why I'm getting my hopes up, but essentially, and I had no idea about this until, like, an hour ago, but I saw it on the news, some news site, I don't know, it's gonna be up on the screen. Apparently there's a Sonic, television show, like, cartoon, that's being developed by I think Big Brain Studios or something, if that's their name. And then there's a the studio that did Ben 10. They're doing a Sonic show exclusively for Netflix, and this was announced a while ago. I just didn't know about it until now. And apparently the news that's recent that was just announced is that it's going to be called Sonic Prime, which made me assume it was an Amazon Prime thing, but I guess not. And what do we know aside from that? Essentially, it is confirmed for 2022, so not for another year. It's going to be 24 episodes, and the quote I see right now on the screen from the article I'm reading is, it will follow Sonic on a quote-unquote high-octane adventure where the fate of a strange new multiverse rests in his gloved hands. And that sounds like Sonic Generations, essentially. I don't know. Sonic X did a thing like that too, I believe, in like the later seasons with Cosmo and like Adult Chris or whatever was going on with that. I haven't seen that since I was like 12, but it was a thing that happened. I'm excited for this though. I don't know why, but I'm actually genuinely excited for this. I actually really enjoy the Sonic like television shows. I wasn't a big fan of the movie, and that's not because of the original design being like complete nightmare fuel at all or just cursed in general. I don't know, it seemed a little vanilla, if that makes sense. I don't know. But I've liked all the Sonic shows, like cartoon shows and animes. My favorite's probably the OVA, just because it's so weird and out there, and the soundtrack is fire, and I like to listen to it while I'm studying. But yeah, I like Sonic X too, except for Chris. He kind of sucked and drugged the show down. But my point being is I like all the Sonic shows. Maybe not Underground actually, but I like the Sonic shows, and I'm actually really excited for this because Sonic has such a unique universe, and maybe having like 100 different characters doesn't translate well to the games or how you play the games. I personally liked it. I like Sonic Heroes. That's just my opinion. Maybe nostalgia goggles here. Like, if any of you guys remember Sonic the Dark Brotherhood or something, it was an RPG on the DS, a Sonic RPG. That was actually pretty good story-wise. Like, it had original characters, it had its own, like, it was a Sonic RPG, which sounds really strange, but the story was pretty good from what I remember, but that might be, again, nostalgia goggles, because I played that game when I was, like, 14. But yeah, long story short, if they're putting a lot of effort into a Sonic show and developing characters, I'd love to see more Chaotix again. I love them. Maybe more development to Amy, like, kind of like what they did with Boom without the rest of Sonic Boom, if that makes sense, like, not a completely dependent, annoying character. because her design's cute and I wish they'd do more with her. My point being is that Sonic has a really interesting stuff going for it, and I personally do really like the story. Gameplay's a little mess sometimes. I mean, I like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, so like, that's probably my opinion. But if they did something like Sonic X, where they based it on the games, and did like this cool story, and like kind of had it like parallel to certain games, but like a retelling, which again, that's what the Sonic comic's doing right now with like Sonic Forces. They told it way better than the game did. And I mean, I'm hyped for it. I don't want to get my hopes up because it's Sonic, but the plot kind of sounds like Sonic Generations, or maybe they're going to go into different Sonic universes, like Adventure. That'd be really cool. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm not going to get my hopes up, but it looks pretty cool. And also, segueing into show-related stuff, I did notice this article as I was editing, and I felt I had to add it because it's just so interesting and cool, and I had no idea this was a thing. And essentially, Nintendo canceled a Star Fox television show after Netflix essentially leaked the Zelda one. I don't know if this means anything for the Zelda show. I don't even know what's going on with the Zelda show. I've heard the rumors, but I don't know, like, what's going on. I don't know if it's live action or whatever. I'm a little behind on that, but the fact that there was a Star Fox show planned sounds so cool. Especially considering, you know, Star Fox hasn't really been released consistently. The last game was Star Fox Zero on the Wii U. It had a lot good going for it, in my opinion, but it was really... the controls really turned me off on that game, and I was really excited for it, but the controls kept me from actually finishing it. So more Star Fox related content in general, even a show too, because there's just so much, like with Sonic, there's a lot of lore and characters with all that, and Star Fox 2 coming out on the SNES Mini and then NSO, like all that stuff with like the lore and the new characters and unreleased new characters in Star Fox 2, it just a lot of potential there, I think, at least in my opinion. And among the most interesting little tidbits I can find in this, it's not really a long article, it's just kind of a clip from a YouTube video, an interview with someone who worked with College Humor. I believe his name is Adam Conover. He said that his team was working with Shigeru Miyamoto, and they were going to make a claymation Star Fox series, which would be very much like Fantastic Mr. Fox, that kind of deal. And also, like, in addition to that in my brain, as I'm thinking of this, like, that art style would be so cool with, like, the science fiction thing and the foxes and the animals, and my brain's not working, I'm very sleep deprived, but you get what I'm saying. It sounds really cool. It's a shame it didn't come to fruition, but Netflix should have known better to, like, not leak things, or I don't know if Netflix intentionally did it, I don't remember what happened with that, but I feel like Nintendo is really secretive and really prides themselves on like keeping everything close to their chest. So the fact that happened and then Nintendo pulled the plug on the project, I mean, that makes sense to me. That's believable to me. It's just a shame it didn't actually happen. So next, going into release-related stuff and what Nintendo's release window is looking like for the future, for 2021 and possibly beyond. It's looking a little not full, if that makes sense. I mean, last year was kind of a really bad thing, and it kind of messed with Nintendo's ability to produce games, which I understand, but there was an announcement to Nintendo, like the financial side of things that goes out to investors, which is a thing they do often, just, for people investing in Nintendo. I'm not a financial analyst, I'm going to stop trying to describe that, but essentially they kind of talk about the release window and what kind of games are coming out for the year, and there's only 6 titles, and some of these we don't know when they're actually coming out, particularly Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4, which are, who knows where they are in development. There's no new news on them, so those two probably not this year. We also have the Breath of the Wild sequel. Also, I mean, it could come out this year, but I kind of doubt it, because we haven't seen actual gameplay at this point. It came out, well, the announcement came out at E3 2019. It was a kind of a teaser, kind of a surprise teaser, but a game like that I feel like is going to take a little longer, so probably not 2021 for that one as well. But then we got the real meat with the potatoes, and essentially we just have things we've known about for a little while, like Pokemon Snap, Bravely Default 2, and Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, which they all look amazing, they all look like they're going to be pretty great, but that's just covering February and April, and then it just kind of skips to stuff that we have no idea when it's going to come out. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say concerning, because I don't know how hard it is for Nintendo to work in the situation we have been in, which is probably very difficult, but it just, I don't know, I don't want to nitpick, but it just seems really, really, what's the word? Just not full. Not full is the word I'm going to use to describe this as, but I mean, there is that thing that came out last week about, Arlo talked about it. It was kind of about having, a job offering, and one of the, responsibilities was to help film Nintendo Directs. So maybe they got something in the works. Maybe this is just kind of holding off, like telling people who are like invested in Nintendo financially, like, this is what we know we have coming out, which would be, that's what they have announced. Maybe they don't want to allude to anything before it's fully out there and realized and like out there in the public, which Bayonetta 3, that one was probably announced a little too soon. Same with Metroid Prime 4, just because it was something that people were looking forward to, and I think they kind of announced it to get the fans hyped, and it just, it's just not fully out there and like has a trailer or any gameplay or any visuals yet, which is not really something we can look forward to in the foreseeable future. So I hope Nintendo does have more stuff announced. I'm thinking they're probably going to have more stealth announcements like the Paper Mario Pokemon Snap thing, which I missed the directs, but I'm not going to complain. But I think that like that Diamond and Pearl thing, the Diamond and Pearl remake thing, they were kind of rumoring for a while. I think that's going to be like coming out soon, going to be announced. I would think that'd be out like at the like holiday season of this year, maybe October, November, because Pokemon does the frequent announcements and the frequent like game releases, because it's such a, a hot item, hot commodity. I don't know how to describe that, but yeah, it's something that Pokemon games come out fairly often, so I don't doubt that one. So, I mean, we just gotta wait and see, but hopefully there'll be more releases for 2021 and 2022. And speaking of rumors, we're gonna get into the hardware news, which isn't a lot, but Nintendo, they kind of announced a little while back, or just kind of responded to people asking about rumors about a Switch Pro, that essentially there's nothing planned at the moment, and Nintendo essentially will not be announcing a new Switch, quote-unquote, anytime soon. And I mean, that sounds understandable to me. They do, in other news, there are 2 special edition Switch consoles coming out pretty soon. There's this really dope Monster Hunter one that I was actually kind of eyeing, and it has like, I'm not a big fan of Monster Hunter, but the design is just so pretty. It kind of reminds me of the Wind Waker HD. Wind Waker HD, can I pronounce words? It reminds me of the gamepad for like the special edition. Like, it's just really clean, but like nice looking, really kind of high-end looking, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. There's also that Mario one. I'm thinking that one's going to be a Target exclusive, because they keep updating like where you can pre-order it. In Europe, you can pre-order it from Nintendo, I believe. But in America, or North America more specifically, only Target's the only one showing it, and it's been the only one showing that it's going to be available for a long time. It's not available for pre-order, it just is coming soon. And I think it's essentially going to be a Target exclusive, because I've been eyeing that for a while myself. I've been thinking of buying a new Switch, just to have a new Switch and just have a second Switch to like bring with me to like class and something. Not to go too far off topic here, but I ended up getting a turquoise Switch Lite. I have the big boy Switch, and I just thought, I just want something to kind of take with me. It's lightweight, it's really comfortable, I like the D-pad. So yeah, I ended up going with that instead of a full Switch. I kind of got tired of waiting for the Mario one, honestly. And I got a fighter stick for Street Fighter on top of that, so win-win. Anyways, let's kind of get back into the news. Switch Pro, someone said it was going to be called Super Switch or something, 4K screen, a bunch of stuff that's not confirmed essentially. And if Nintendo's not going to announce it, we're not going to see anything for quite some time. I mean, rumors, leaks, they do sometimes end up coming to fruition. It depends on the source and all that, but I don't know about this one. I think they might have something in the works for the future, just not for a little while. Like, with the delays with the video games, I think the hardware's gonna, not, maybe holiday, but I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see one this year. I know a lot of people think it's gonna be coming out this year. My prediction is, I don't think so. Maybe maybe early 2022 or holiday even. I just don't see it if they're denying it so much. I feel like Nintendo would just no comment it until they release it. Because, I mean, they're literally saying they have nothing planned for right now, so I don't know. I'd love a Switch Pro, but at the same time, I don't really see the need for one also. And in Pokemon news, it looks like Sword and Shield is about to surpass Gold and Silver in sales, which would make it the second highest selling Pokemon game right below, well, not right below, but below Red and Blue, like the big boys, the big games of that Pokemon era, or as Pokemon as a whole. What am I even saying with my words right now? My point being, Sword and Shield is selling a lot, probably because the Switch is doing well, and, you know, it's Pokemon. And I think that's really cool, but at the same time, it's kind of bittersweet for me, and I'm gonna explain why. Essentially, I think Sword and Shield could just be so much more. It's the first home console Pokemon game. This is my opinion, I don't think it's popular opinion, but as far as story, I think Sun and Moon did a whole lot better in regard to story. It just felt more finished, where this game just feels like it was a rush to get it out on the Switch. I feel like the whole game should have been like Wild Area. That's just my opinion. I think it could have been. The fact that I enjoy the DLC more than the main story is the thing that really bugs me the most, and I feel like, you know, I don't know. I'm happy that the game's selling well. I'm happy Pokemon's still doing well, like, decades later. But at the same time, I feel like at this point, Pokemon should have expanded more than it has with Sword and Shield, if that makes sense. And another kind of side note, like, Gold and Silver, I didn't know it sold that many units. I actually thought it didn't do very well. I don't know why I thought this. I think just because the whole Pokemania kind of thing when I was a kid with like Red and Blue and even Yellow, that was the big thing, and I think it kind of died out around the time at least I assumed it died out around the time Gold and Silver came out, because like people were moving on to like, I remember kids at school were getting into like Yu-Gi-Oh a little later, even like Digimon some kids were getting into. I don't know, for some reason I thought everyone was out of Pokemon at that time. And we have a little Animal Crossing news, nothing too big, but apparently there were Sanrio amiibo cards that were released around the time of like Happy Home Designer, I guess, and they're making a comeback apparently. They're being re-released, which is interesting to me because it's kind of a collaboration between Sanrio and Nintendo, which like they kind of re-established that partnership. Why couldn't I think of the word? But that's cool. I mean, I don't know if you can get the villagers. They probably work like amiibo cards, I would assume. And yeah, the deer's cute. What's her name? Chelsea? Oh, Chelsea is right there in English. They're cute, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I like the furniture. If you can get the furniture in game, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, if you're a fan of Sanrio and Animal Crossing, there is that. There is also, they're bringing back the festival event thing with Pave. I remember that was in City Folk, the Wii one. And I forgot how you got the furniture then. I don't remember. But I remember my mom actually plays Animal Crossing. She's really into it. She still is. She has like 3 different accounts on my Switch right now with like a house, like 3 different houses. One's a cafe, one's like a pool hall. She gets very, very into it. She even paid off my house, which is nice. So thank you, Mom. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I feel like the update could be a little more, but at the same time, I'm happy to see this again because the furniture I remember in the Wii version was pretty cool. I think it was in New Leaf as well. I'm almost positive it was. So, I mean, it's cool that they're doing constant updates to this game. That makes it so much better because with Animal Crossing, for me personally, I get really burnt out after like a month after I've like done all the stuff I have to do because the repetition. I just kind of it's a good wind down game, and I kind of mentioned this in a previous video, but like once I get burnt out, I don't really fall back into it. But New Horizons has been so different in that regard, in the fact that I can get right back in when there's a new update and it's fun. Like they had the diving update, they had the snowflake update, and it's just so fun. I love it so much. It's just so simple, such simple little things. But, and the dream codes too, I've been really into those lately and looking at like really like 5-star island dream codes. So, I mean, yeah, they keep adding little things that keep people like coming back and getting their full enjoyment of this game, which is really, really cool in my opinion. Now here's one I found kind of interesting, but it was also kind of a no-brainer, and that's essentially Reggie admitted that the Switch was a make or break product for Nintendo. after, you know, all the dark ages of the Wii U, if you will. So this quote apparently came from the New York Game Awards, which is something I try to watch, but the whole webcam format kind of turned me off on it. It just wasn't as engaging as the other Game Awards, which I didn't know there was two, which is interesting. I watched it for Reggie, of course, but it was kind of hard because it just seemed like I was watching a Zoom meeting the whole time. But it looks like I missed this quote because I do not remember it. But Reggie was asked apparently what his defining achievement was during like his career at Nintendo and all that. And he talked about the Wii U and like bringing Nintendo back up to their prime. And of course the Switch is selling. It's almost outsold the Wii if I remember correctly. And the Wii was a monster, of course. It sold so many consoles. And the fact that the Switch is doing that well, it makes me so happy because, God, the Wii U was just not doing great. But yeah, he was talking about his time at Nintendo when the Switch came out and just Nintendo was just back in their prime again, which is cool. And I mean, I remember the Wii U ages. I bought a Wii U at launch. I bought the black one with the Pro one or whatever, the upgraded one, whatever it was called, with the Nintendo Land or whatever. It was actually my high school graduation present, which I was really excited for it. I thought it was going to do so well because it had that Wii name. And it had good games, but it was not a good console, I don't think, in my opinion. I feel like they should have departed from the Wii and kind of moved on to the Switch. The Switch essentially is what the Wii U should have been. They should have kind of made that leap, but they didn't. And the gamepad, I hated the gamepad, and my gamepad was really, really buggy, and it would not connect if I wasn't like literally a foot away from the console. And it just, I don't miss the Wii U era. The 3DS era, I do miss. I had the yellow Pikachu edition 3DS that came out in like 2013. It was I loved it so much. I played so many games on it. Tomodachi Life. I even played Nintendogs Plus Cats on that thing. I played Fire Emblem Fates. God, I logged so many hours into that. The 3DS era, in general, to summarize what I'm getting at here, I love that era. The Wii U era, it made me sad. I remember people talking about how they were worried about Nintendo just not doing okay and just not being around for the foreseeable future, which really made me sad and like worried for Nintendo because they were not reaching their potential at the time, and I'm just really happy they're doing well. It makes me happy when Nintendo is doing good because I grew up with Nintendo. My first console was a Super NES, and I've just grew up with Nintendo from there. I've owned every Nintendo console, and I can honestly say that the Wii U was my least favorite. It could have been so much more, and I'm really glad like they moved on from that. And yeah, that's the news story. And also in Sonic news this week, which Yusuke, why? Which I do, by the way, count as Nintendo news because Sonic and Mario kind of go together at this point, I guess. I know, right, Yusuke? I know. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so essentially Sonic has been on Nintendo platforms for a while, so if there's some Sonic news, I'm gonna talk about it. I mean, it's on Nintendo Life, so yeah. But essentially, the voice actor for Sonic, Roger Craig Smith, who voiced Sonic for about 10 years now, I think Colors was his debut, if I remember right. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure it was Colors. He has officially stated that he is going to be departing from the role, and he will no longer be voicing Sonic. But Sonic has had a few voice actors over his career as a blue meme hedgehog video game character. That's what I meant to say. And I think, I don't know, I've grown used to the current Sonic, but it doesn't... when I think of Sonic talking, I think of like the adventure one and the bad lip syncing and all that. I don't know why. But, I mean, it's sad to see him go, but, you know, he did have a long time with the role, so... yeah, good luck to him in his future endeavors. But yeah, that's about it for my little Nintendo News Week wrap-up thingy I'm doing again now after a century. I think I was calling them Ninty News Updates or something weird like that, like when I was doing them. And I think, yes, I remember I have the playlist, and I'm like, when did I call him that? I guess I did at some point. And I don't even know anyone who abbreviates Nintendo as Ninty, but I mean, I guess I'll stick with it. Ninty News Updates, let's go. But yeah, if you like that video, if you like this video, I can't think. I have allergies right now and I'm really sleep deprived, so I apologize if I sound really stuffy and just not there. Bear with me. This is just me talking about Nintendo stuff, and if you like it, then cool. Makes me very, very happy. Please subscribe. You'll get more Nintendo stuff, I assure you. But yeah, if you like this video, subscribe. I just said that. Why am I saying it again? But yeah, hopefully you like this video. I'm going to try and do it on a weekly basis, maybe bi-weekly if I'm really busy. I am a full-time college student. Things get very busy with me, but I will try and keep up with it, because I was having some health problems a couple years ago. They're more manageable now. I have a neurological condition, and it's kind of a thing, but I'm at a point right now where I can do videos at a regular basis, and like I said, my video essays are going to be the thing that you should like expect, because that's going to be my main, the meat with my potatoes. Did I make that joke already? I probably did. I'm very tired. I've slept like 2 hours, guys. But yeah, if you liked it, then you liked it. Subscribe. It'd be cool. Make me happy. And yeah, expect more video essays, and these will be a thing as well to supplement it. And yeah, that is about it, guys. So hopefully you liked it. I said that 100 times now. I'm going to sign off now. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!